Good morning. Good morning. This is Build a Better Business. And today we are talking about creating your offers. So we've got Rocky, Gabby, and Beth with us today. And so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump right in. So bear with me here just a moment till I share my screen. Okay, today we are talking about Build a Better Business. This is what our actual curriculum looks like. So I want to show this to you today. First of all, when we get started with Build a Better Business, we talk about how to add more heart to your business. So we go through what is a heart-centered business, what are the 4 key concepts, and also marketing dilemma for heart-centered business owners. And from there, that's just kind of an overview. And I've got my notes here too. And so we go through this every year. So then starting in January, we talk about your VPS, creating and wordsmithing your value proposition statement. That basically tells folks who you are and what you do. It's your own value proposition statement. And then in February, every year, we go through storytelling. That is actually... Oh, we've got Eddie. We're going to admit Eddie into the room. Welcome, Eddie. I don't know if you're tuned in yet. Can you hear me okay? You can unmic there just long enough to let me know. Can you hear me okay there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so then in February, we go into storytelling, and storytelling is our journey. It talks about how to use your story to connect with your buyers, because your storytelling is your marketing. And then 5 tips for including storytelling in your sales strategy. It's how to build your great story. And we get into detail in that in February. And then in March, we talk about serving is selling. It's how to serve your influencers, who in turn sell your products and services. I've got some great examples on how we do that. And then also influence marketing. It's 5 ways to promote and sell your products. And then in April, we start talking about your website. And it's a step-by-step guide to build a better business for your website. And here are the points we go through. This is all in April. We talk about clarity. We talk about how to build your website, how to write it. We talk about creating the character in your website. Then this character has a problem. Then the character meets a guide who gives them a plan, who calls them to action, who helps them avoid failure, and it ends with their success. And we show you how to create your website to actually go through that storyline. And then in May, we start talking about how to create your free opt-in offer. And so what is your genius that you can give away? This is your free offer to get folks to get to know, like, and trust you. It's how to answer your public on what their actual problems are. And then we show how to do an Amazon book search. And the reason we talk about a book search, it's what folks are looking for. And so we show you how to do that book search so that when you're writing your offer, you're actually entering the conversation in your customers' heads and not making them enter the conversation in your head. And we also look at YouTube categories. And all those are doing is that we're just finding out what questions people are really asking, so that when you actually develop your answer, you can answer their actual questions. And then we show you how to actually create that offer. And you create something that everyone can afford to buy or opt into. And it's a first base offer, so it's going to boost your sales. It's kind of the top of your funnel, so to speak. And then we get into creating your second base offer. And that's our topic for today, is how to create that second base offer. So I just want to go through, your client is now becoming a fan. They've seen your website. They've actually seen your first base offer. They may have tapped into either a strategy call, or maybe they tapped into some sort of a masterclass, or for some reason they've tapped into your products. So at this point now, your client is starting to become a fan. So you may never know customer loyalty like professional sports teams do, but it's possible to build enough loyalty to make your competitors envious. So many customers don't want to bounce around. It's easier to deal with one company, but subpar service and bad experiences often make convincing case for them to leave rather than to stay loyal. So I know that happens to me sometimes. I try to I've got a lot of real estate and I try to deal with one contractor. And if for some reason I'm not really connecting, I have a tendency to start shopping. And so the number one thing you need to do is to add value and level the price. So price is just a factor in the customer's decision to buy and stick around. A few customers will follow the lowest price, and you'd likely never make them really loyal because they're always going to go for the lowest price. But oftentimes the majority of customers will remain loyal and become fans if you increase the value. I just had a guy, again, I've got rental property and I needed gutters cleaned out, and I called 3 places to get estimates. And this one guy was just head and shoulders above the rest in his service, his communication. And so I definitely put him on my A list. And so I'll be going back to him. He has created a loyal fan in me already. And so then you have to create a community. People don't walk into businesses knowing the owners. And so you have to create that community. You have to keep them up to date with regular newsletters or customer stories, or invite them to be a part of the customer forum where you can get their feedback. And again, you want to enter the conversation in their heads, and then encourage and respond to that feedback. Another thing that I do is I run a guest house, which is short-term rental. And I'm always getting reviews. And when I get reviews, it really makes a difference. I had a gentleman the other day that just said he loved our place, but he felt that the light was a little too bright coming in this one window. And so I took that seriously. And so I put a blackout curtain on that window. It was right after he left, sadly, because he told me about it as he was leaving. But I reassured him that I would take care of that and have it taken care of for his next stay and for all future guests. So communicate quickly. And that's another thing too, especially when I'm doing my short-term rentals, I have to communicate, within minutes, because they're on their way and they maybe have a very pertinent question for their stay. And so I communicate as quickly as possible. So that is how your customer can become a fan. Now, ideas for product or service that will become passive income, because of course we're all talking about passive income. So you're thinking, well, what can I do for this second level or second base offer? Well, there's lots of great things you can do. You can write ebooks. You can put together any kind of a guide. And again, I've got short-term rentals, so I do all kind of guides about places they can eat or places they can travel or visit while they're here. You could do webinars. You can either do a live one, or you could do an evergreen one that's archived that you can, just run all the time. You could do slideshows. You could give away kits. You could do industry case studies. New industry research. You could do templates to give away, free tools, free trials, product demos, consultations, coupons, all kinds of things that you can do as an offer. Now, an offer is an offer. So you can make a free offer, or you can take that same offer if you want and make that your second level offer, or even your third base offer. And here's a perfect example. Let's say you want to do a 5-week mastermind. You could do a 5-week mastermind for free. That could be your free offer to get folks to tap in. But maybe you did a strategy call as your free offer, and your 5-week mastermind is now going to be your second level offer. Or maybe you gave away an ebook as your free offer, a strategy call as your second level offer, and now maybe your 5-session or 5-week mastermind is going to be your third base offer. So you can use, it's whatever fits your business the best. And for me, just as an example, I like to use a strategy call or a free meetup as my first base. And then I like to use an actual online course as my second base. And then I do a mastermind as my third base, and then one-on-one coaching as my home run. So that just gives you some ideas of how you can use different offers. So what makes an offer a good one? So while the types of offers we mentioned above are all great options, there's a number of qualities that an offer should possess in order for it to be effective. So a high quality, premium, and valuable to your target audience. That is the number one goal. It has to be high quality and valuable to your target audience. You have to align with your business and the products and services that you offer. For example, since I'm teaching, my offers have everything to do with education. It's the strategy call, the courses, the masterminds, the one-on-one coaching. It's in line with the services that I'm doing. Now, Some of this, because I'm a passive income coach and because I have passive income in real estate, one of my teaching modules is about real estate. See, so it's still in line with the products and services that I offer. So now you have to target the right buyer at the right time. And boy, that's a tough one. And so the first thing you have to decide is who is your audience, who is that buyer and where are they hanging out? And so now you can target them. So I join a lot of real estate groups because, again, one of my lanes is teaching real estate. Another one is I join a lot of author groups because I have one of my lines is one of my channels that I teach is all about writing from anywhere in the world and how to monetize your blog post. And so I hang out where those folks hang out. And then how to leverage your offers effectively. Now that you have a clear understanding of what makes a good marketing offer and also what doesn't, we'll dive into some of the best practices. So you have to create a lot of targeted offers. So first things first, with all that talk about targeting and segmenting the right offers to the right buyer persona at the right time, you can probably guess that what all this translates to is a need for variety. And so I have my free meetups like this one today. And so you can tap in and see, some of the things that I'm offering. But then I also have a strategy call. I also have an ebook. And again, back up to that list. There's several on that list that I'm using as my different offers. Now, put offers behind a lead capture form because ultimately you want to get someone's email address so that you can market them and you don't want to spam them. You don't want to go overboard. I don't know about you, but if I start getting 10 emails a day from the same company, after a while, I unsubscribe or delete or market spam or something because it's just too much. So you have to find that right, that right gate, how much you want to market and what your audience is accepting of you to market. And so what I like to do and what I found works for me is once a week seems to be kind of the sweet spot for me. I don't like to send something out every single day. I do get emails from folks every single day, but I don't like to do that. I feel like it kind of blows up everybody's email inbox. And so I like to do once a week. And I simply just put out there very matter-of-factly what my meetups are going to be for the week, and then a link where they can download any of my freebies. But I don't bombard them. And then create calls to action and place them appropriately. And again, my call to action on my website is all the way down my website. I've got a whole lane, a whole course that I talk about how to build a better business and how to make your homepage on your website like a sales funnel. And so I actually place my call to action several times down that homepage. And then create a blog around your offers. I actually have a blog right on my homepage. And it's just kind of a way that folks can kind of get to know, like, and trust me. They can tap in and read some of my blogs and some of my articles. And then I promote my offers in social media. Again, I don't hit everybody over the head. I'm very consistent on putting my offers out there. And then I do that email marketing just once a week. And then I align my offers with prospects point in the sales process. And so if somebody connects with me and they tell me, they're interested in the real estate, I'll make sure they get the real estate links. If they're interested in the writing, I make sure they get the writing links. If they're interested in the website design, I make sure they get the website design links. So track performance with your analytics software. That's not very hard these days because most of your social media has the analytics built in, and that's kind of fun. Because you can look at your analytics and it tells you when your posts get the most views and also how many views. And so you can kind of tailor your marketing campaign according to that once you have that. So how many offers do you have in your back pocket? How do they factor into your business lead generation and your nurturing efforts? And then finally, if you want to create a course or a workshop curriculum, there is a way to do that. And we're starting a brand new mastermind of the 4th Monday of this month on how to create a 5-session challenge, a 5-day challenge, or a 5-session mastermind, or a 5-session masterclass. And that's a whole new group that's just starting this month. But this just gives you a little overview. If you want to create your course or a workshop curriculum, boy, that can be kind of foreign to you. So you don't want to get stuck there. And so first of all, you have to identify your outcome. What is the transition that you want to take your client to? So when it comes down to it, online courses are simply a shortcut to an outcome. And so when I have a client that says, I want to start investing in real estate, my course will take them through that process so they can see the transformation. If my client wants to create their website, they can go through the Build a Better Business. And at the end, they see their transformation. And so that brings us to step number one. You have to identify your target audience. And again, it goes back to, who you're actually marketing, who you're selling to. So my real estate courses are for the beginning person, the beginning investor in real estate. My writing courses are designed toward the beginner writer. How do they get published? And the blogging, how do they monetize a blog? And then even the masterclass on how to create, a 5-day challenge. It's folks that have not done that before. So my target audience is the beginner. That's who I'm looking for. And so what group do you understand better than anyone else? What do you care most deeply about? And is there a specific community that could truly benefit from your knowledge? It's a group that you're a part of that you deeply understand. And boy, oh boy, for me, I remember those beginnings. And so from there, that's where you kind of get down into it. If you've already have a sizable audience, you can ask them who they are. So if you already have a following, you could do a poll and find out where they're at and what it is they want to learn or what they want to know. And then you can start creating your products and services around who your audience already is. So that's a great way, is to poll your audience. And you can do that by email. You can do that in Instagram stories. You can do that in Facebook groups. You can do it all kinds of places where you can actually poll your audience. And then determine your outcome. And here's where the ball really gets rolling. Once you've got your list of pain points, all the problems they're having and what they want to learn about, then you can narrow it down to 2 or 3 of the most popular, and then you can start crafting from there. So let's say that your audience was really struggling with how to go from earning a few $100s a month from their blog to making a full-time income. They want to monetize their blog post. You could take that information and then you could go through all the steps and teach them how to make that transformation. And so now you know what you're teaching, you know what you're working with, you know who you're coaching, and you can work backward too. There are things that your students need to know to achieve that outcome. So you can start with what they need to end up and then kind of go backwards. And what are the steps to get from their beginning to get to that point? And I did that when I was writing my courses for real estate, is that I decided from the very beginning, what this person should look like once they had succeeded in real estate investing. And then I went backwards. I actually worked backward for all the steps on for them to make that transformation. And then group key steps into lessons. So, whoops, sorry about that. So once you have your different steps, and then you can group those into your different lesson pods. And as you're creating your course or your blog or your social media post, and then break your lessons down into individual lectures. And so voila, you've created an online course or content that now you can actually start marketing. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see who all is here. I see we have Eddie, and in the background, we've got Rocky, Gabby, and Beth, and they're not on camera today because they're multitasking on this Friday morning. And so I'm not sure if they can jump in and communicate, but they're listening in. Eddie, how about you? Tell me a little bit about you and where are you coming to us from this morning? Are you there?
Hey, sorry, I'm also in Ohio and I'm also multitasking, so I was just a silent listener.
Okay, so you're in Ohio.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I do have a quick question. What business are you in? Or what business are you trying to launch?
Well, right now I'm not, but the title of your this about real estate is what caught my attention.
Oh, okay, okay. And so today we're talking about building a better business in general, and it could be any type of industry. So you're interested more in the real estate. Now, are you interested in investing in real estate, or are you interested in, are you a realtor? Are you trying to connect with clients? Tell me a little bit about what you're looking for.
No, I'm not a realtor. I'm just looking for more information about if I want to start something up, like, either Airbnb or rental properties. Uh, what are my options, and basically how to go about doing that. And again, this is
Okay.
more of trying to learn first before I jump in, sort of thing. So
I get it. I get it. Well, I have long-term real estate, I have short-term real estate, and I have mid-term real estate. So I can answer your questions in any three of those areas. And are you wanting to own the property, or are you, and again, in building a better business, this is one of the businesses that you can build is passive income through real estate investing. That's a great business to build. So are you interested in purchasing the real estate, or are you interested in what's called arbitrage?
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay,
Sorry.
arbitrage is where you don't own the property, and it's where you rent a property from someone else, and then you make sure you have a contract that says you're allowed to re-rent it out. And so you might rent it for $1,000 a month, but then you can rent it back out on a daily basis and maybe generate $3,000 a month. So then you pay them their 1,000 for your rent, but then you get to keep the other 2,000 as your
Interesting.
profit.
Okay, I know. I need to look into that.
Now that's the tougher road, by the way, because there's so many communities that don't allow arbitrage. There's so many if you're getting into condos, condo HOAs do not allow arbitrage. You get into certain housing developments, and certain housing developments have HOAs, and they may, which is homeowner associations, and they may not allow arbitrage. You have certain cities that do not allow it. You have certain communities that don't allow it. So you have to do quite a bit of homework to make sure you find a community that does allow it, and then a property owner that is interested in doing that. Because once they find out that you're doing it, they start to think, well, maybe they could do that and make the extra 2,000. And so,
Mhm.
so again, it requires some homework up front to find that perfect property to do it with, but it can be done, and it's done all over the country. And but the easier way is if you purchase your own real estate and you do your homework once up front and make sure you buy into an area where you can do short-term or mid-term rental or long-term, where you can actually use it as a rental. And once you do that, then you're kind of home free. You can just continue to do that over and over again. So what is your thinking? Do you own real estate currently?
Yeah, I do own the home I live in, but that's it.
Okay. Is it large enough that you could Airbnb a room or two, or no?
Not the way it's designed. It's not really designed for a separate entrance or anything. So
We've stayed at Airbnbs across the country, and a lot of them, it's just literally in someone's home. And we were walking right into the same door they go in, and then we go up the same staircase they go up, and it's just a separate bedroom that they're actually renting out in their home. And so you can get started that way, but you have to, you have to wrap your mind around it that you're going to have strangers in your house, and that you're going to be okay with that.
true.
And there's some safeguards you can take, by putting additional locks on your bedroom doors and that sort of thing to keep the guest out of your private areas. And that's how we started. And then we eventually created a separate entrance in our home. And so I run a guest house actually in my house where I live. And from there, I then started doing short-term rentals in separate structures. And of course, I've always done long-term rentals. And then I started doing midterm just recently in separate structures. But I do short-term in the home that I live in. As a matter of fact, that's where I am right now. And I have a full house coming in tonight. I have 3 separate bedrooms, and I have 3 separate guests, just like a hotel. So I have 3 separate guests coming in tonight, checking in.
Nice, nice, very nice. Yeah,
Yeah. So if you
we
have any questions for me about that, I'd be happy to answer those. And
Mhm.
Rocky, Gabby, or Beth, if you have anything, put it in the chat if you're not in a place where you can talk right now. And and we'll answer your questions. Yeah, so did you have any questions, Eddie, about that I could answer for you today?
Nope, not right now. And I might drop off any minute now. So I'm not being rude to you. I just need to go back to another call.
Nope,
Thank you.
I understand. I understand. So before you go, be sure that you tap into kathybinner.com and scroll down to the Happy House Hunters group. That's the long-term rentals. And then we do have an ins and outs of opening a B&B, and that is the short-term rental. So be sure and tap into those free calls in addition to this Build a Better Business call.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right. I don't see any questions from Rocky, Gabby, or Beth this morning on building a better business. So I want to encourage you to, kind of get out the drawing board, if you will, and start making a list of some of the offers that you could offer in your business. And so, Eddie, while you're on the line, when we're talking about short-term or mid-term or even long-term rentals, you can make all kind of offers on a lot of those booking sites, and you can create all kinds of packages, and there can be weekend packages, there can be all kinds of things to do in the community that you're in, wherever that rental property happens to be, and you can create all kinds of offers to attract the client that you want to come there. And so that's what I would encourage you to do. Where did you say you were in Ohio, Eddie?
Yes, in Columbus.
Are you in Columbus?
Yes.
Okay, Columbus is short-term renter friendly, by the way, Columbus, Ohio. But be careful when you're looking for properties to short-term rent. Be careful getting into some of those smaller communities within the city of Columbus. Like, for example, Whitehall is not short-term renter friendly. Reynoldsburg is not, but Columbus proper is. And so you just have to kind of watch what areas you're in before you actually commit to signing or buying something. Make sure that you're in an area that is short-term friendly. That's very important. And so once you locate the property that you want to use, that you're going to use for that, then you can start, you can start looking up all kinds of offers that you want to do. And I see where, Eddie, you put in there, where do you look up that information? You actually have to check with zoning, but there are, again, there are a lot of short-term renter organizations that you can join. And so ours, which is called the Ins and Outs of Opening a B&B, you can tap in there, and there's going to be that some of that information will be there. So be sure and check that out. But there is a lot of places to check. The number one place is to go straight to that municipality's zoning office and just ask them what is the zoning requirements to do short-term rentals, and they'll let you know. So it's the zoning office of the community that you want to do that in. I hope that's helpful. So perfect. Okay. Well, this morning, it doesn't look like we have a big audience and not a lot of questions. Is there, if Eddie doesn't have any questions, I think we'll go for this morning. But let me know. You can reach me at kathybinner.com and connect with me there, tap in anytime. And Eddie, if you have any questions, just connect with me. I'd be happy to answer your questions, even offline. Anything comes up, I'd be happy to help you out. Okay, with that, I think we're going to go. Did you have any other questions for me, Eddie, before we go? And Eddie is multitasking this morning as well, the same as Rocky, Gabby, and Beth. So thank you so much for being with us this morning. I really appreciate you tapping in on building a better business. And we are here every month. We have something going on every Friday. We have a free meetup. And so you can find all of my links at kathybinner.com and simply scroll down to the calendar or tap on the calendar tab, and it will show you all of the free meetups there. So tap through and join as many of those free meetups as you'd like. We want to help you get started, and we want you to take your passion, turn it into your purpose, and then turn your purpose into your passive income. So with that, have a great weekend, and we will see everyone next time. Bye.